Well, would you look at that? They knew this was happening all along. Crime wave hits major supermarket with 165 locations now may close store doors after reporting more than $500K lost for shoplifting. Protesters marched through Miami streets to object to Florida's Black History teaching standards. Over 50,000 to lose homeowners insurance as 2 more insurance carriers exit California. And just before Hurricane Hilary forecast to hit LA Sunday with tropical storm force wind, rain, and big waves. And we finally have proof of the rich-cession, and the number of millionaires fell the most since the global financial crisis of 2008. While this insane new addition has Walmart shoppers threatening to boycott stores after crazy and annoying major self-checkout change just released. And so much more, much more that has been happening and breaking overnight. My intent in this short video is to get you caught up on the latest and most important events unfolding right now around the country and the world. These happenings most likely to affect us all in some way, whether it happens to be an impact to our food, supply, shortages, prices, quality, changes to our food supply, scientists creating cultured and synthetic meat in labs, or the rise in price and further inflation that will break wallets and people's will at grocery stores and in self-checkout lines. Or a devastation to our homes through disastrous weather events, state of emergency protocol, new mandates and laws, bill proposals, and the upcoming presidential election that is sure to turn America upside down on its head and create panic, turmoil, and havoc. More than likely, higher levels of crime, riots, and division before ballots are cast, all of which culminating to the serious financial burden and impacts that will ripple through the middle class that continues to feel the squeeze while rich and wealthy billionaires laugh it up and live the dream on their 1,000-acre, multi-million-dollar private estates, impervious to wildfire and damages, or better yet, the man-made floating island, dubbed Billionaire Bunker Island off the coast of Florida, possibly designed to protect these near $100 million vacation homes and mansions of the elite from rising tides, floodwaters, hurricanes, storm surges, and of course, insurance companies dropping their policies due to high risk. Unlike everyone else who owns a home or condo and is now facing cancellation and non-renewal or extreme 40+% premium increases in the next few months, the Great Reset and redistribution seems to have begun. Plus, make sure you stay tuned until the very end because I have some very important news to share with you about changes being made by the Social Security Administration to applications and payment processing that you're not going to want to miss. As always, I'm your host, Kevin, and that's Kevin in all caps, youtube.com/@Kevin247. And you can even speak into your TV or cable box remote or ask for me by name on Apple TV or Fire with Alexa. Just say, Kevin247 or Kevin Prepper. Either one of those should pull up my channel and take you to my latest and most popular uploads. Please hit the like button and join our community by subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications and alerts. This not only lets YouTube know that you like, enjoy, and receive value from my content, but it also makes sure that you are the first to know when my latest videos are published and upcoming live streams and premieres are scheduled as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please stick with me here because we're going to move through these breaking news and important topics quickly. Starting off with major bank with 4,000 branches announces difficult choice to close locations for good after 37 stores to shut in 16 states. A Wells Fargo bank is set to close with bosses admitting it was difficult to shut the branch, yet the branch in Allentown, Pennsylvania is just one of dozens set to close. Execs at Wells Fargo said that the branch is due to shut for good on November 1, and the company admitted that the closure wasn't a move they took lightly. C-suite executives released a statement, and I quote, "Branches continue to play an important role in the way we serve our customers, and we continuously evaluate our branch network in light of changing customer needs, the increase in the use of digital banking, and market factors." End quote. Additional branches across a raft of states, including Arizona, California, Florida, New Jersey, Maryland, and Colorado are all set to close, while Wells Fargo banks in Georgia, Virginia, Wisconsin, and Washington have already been slated to shut down. And Wells Fargo isn't the only bank closing its doors. Associated Bank, based in Green Bay, Wisconsin, is set to close 6 branches by November 17, while PNC has decided to close around 100 of its branches in grocery stores this year too. Next, the aftermath. While people are still trying to pick up the pieces, crime wave is how this one reads. And major supermarket, according to the U.S. Sun, with 165 locations may close store doors after reporting more than $500,000 lost to shoplifting. Theft has become a huge issue for retailers nationwide in recent years, but the situation is particularly grave at a giant food location in Southeast Washington, D.C. And community leaders have sounded the alarm after a supermarket lost more than $500,000 worth of merchandise to shoplifters. Prior to this important staple in the neighborhood and grocery store closure, City Council person Trayon White explained how detrimental that could be at a recent press conference in the community, stressing how access to groceries is limited in that part of the city, and the giant location is the only major grocery store outlet in Washington, D.C.'s Ward 8, which is home to about 85,000 residents. We know it's tough times, and we know the price of food has skyrocketed in the last 3 years. And we cannot afford to hurt ourselves by constantly taking from the store because, everybody is going to be without a place to eat, and enough is enough. And he said the goods stolen at the supermarket account for roughly 20% of the store's sales, which is added to the cost and rise in prices of groceries since Giant has spent thousands to hire security guards and update its equipment. So far over the last 3 years, employees have stopped theft suspects 135 times, but many more have gotten away without any immediate consequences. White added that we have to eat at this store, and what we take from this store will put the store in jeopardy of closing down. The company's president, Ira Kress, oversees 165 Giant food and grocery store locations across Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, and D.C., and said that shoplifting has skyrocketed at many Giant stores in recent years. And I quote, "The level of theft and the level of violence associated with the theft have probably increased 5 to 10 times in the last 3 years." End quote. Wow. Just over the last 3 years, you say? And added that we've locked down baby formula, we've locked down razor blades, and we have some stores that have locked down specific types of soap or different deodorants or air fresheners. And this means that many more popular products will begin to be kept under lock and key, and quite possibly and potentially the whole store. And he believes more effective law enforcement is the solution for retailers, stating that absent those tougher laws, absent the application of those laws, the enforcement of those laws, we continue to see crime escalate and violence escalate. End quote. Now, I would really like to know how you all feel and what you all think. So please take this time to drop a comment down below. How do you feel about the rise in crime, theft, and violence plaguing our neighborhood grocery stores and adding to the reasons behind higher prices, more dangerous conditions, and ultimately store closures? And while you're at it, if you're for tougher laws and enforcement of those laws against criminals destroying our communities, then go ahead and tap that like button. I really would appreciate it. Thanks. All right, so a new addition has been made, and Walmart shoppers threatened to boycott stores after major self-checkout change branded annoying by customers rolls out. The Walmart store announced that it would be upping the volume of third-party advertising with ads on the screens of display TVs and over its in-store radio. But the biggest annoyance to customers has been their addition of ads to self-checkout machine screens. And one annoyed customer said, "Just one more reason not to go there." Another said on Twitter, or actually X, "This is how to annoy your customers even more," while others criticized the move as short-term thinking. However, according to the report, short-term or not, the company has plans for its new advertisement marketing option. And Walmart Connect's senior VP Ryan Mayward said, "When you think about our store footprint, and the percentage of Americans that we reach through our stores, we can deliver Super Bowl-sized audiences every week." And encourage interested parties to visit Walmart's Connect site, where companies can begin using the store's advertising options. And there they provide more perspective on how at-register ads work. There, it tells potential advertisers to target customers when they are in the buying mood. And I quote, make a big impression when they're the most motivated, with in-store placements that continue to drive awareness and conversion. And their closed-loop measurement boasts of being able to determine when the ads on self-checkout screens influence future purchases. Now, Jeff Green, CEO and co-founder of The Trade Desk, said Walmart is pioneering a new frontier in digital advertising, providing marketers with access to shoppers' data for the very first time in a way that both protects consumer privacy and improves the consumer experience. And in doing so, marketers will be able to create much more refined, relevant, and measurable advertising campaigns, which can be adapted on the fly to changing circumstances and real-time performance. We are thrilled to be working with Walmart to bring this vision to life. Now, the article added that one user on Twitter commented, "That sounds so annoying and dystopic." So quick question for all of you watching, what do you all think about this? Go ahead and leave a comment down below and express your feelings and opinions, please, while I read you the latest. As protesters hit the streets and marched through Miami to object to Florida's Black History teaching standards, where NBC News shared the new curriculum standards require lessons that say enslaved people develop skills which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit. Released yesterday, August 16, by the Associated Press, dozens of teachers, students, and labor leaders marched to a Miami school district headquarters to protest Florida's new standards for teaching Black history, which have come under intense criticism for what they say about slavery. It says that the protesters who marched to the school board of Miami-Dade County objected to new curriculum standards that, among other things, require teachers to instruct middle school students that enslaved people develop skills which, in some instances, could be applied for their personal benefit. The current Florida governor, who is seeking the 2024 GOP presidential nomination, has repeatedly defended the new language while insisting that his critics, including Vice President Kamala Harris and two leading Black Republicans in Congress, are intentionally misinterpreting one line of the sweeping curriculum. An organizer of the march and a professor emeritus of psychology at Florida International University said, "These new state standards that the Florida governor has come up with will not be tolerated in our schools. We will not let our children be taught that slaves benefited from their slavery. That's a lie," end quote. And for those of you wondering why I keep saying Florida governor or Florida Gov instead of his name, that's because of House Bill 991 or HB 991, which states on the myfloridahouse.gov website, defamation, false light, and unauthorized publication of name or likenesses provides that journalists' privilege does not apply to defamation claims when defendant is professional journalism or media entity, revises provisions concerning venue for certain actions, provides for attorney fees and costs to prevailing plaintiffs in certain actions, specifies certain persons may not be considered public figures, provides certain allegations are defamatory per se, provides statutory damages to prevailing plaintiffs who are subject of such allegations, creates presumption that statement by anonymous source is presumptively false, provides public figure does not need to show actual malice to prevail in defamation action. Which basically means, in layman's terms, don't say Ron. for lack of better words, and this bill would also make it defamatory to accuse someone of discrimination, which is crazy. But in greater detail, the newly introduced Florida bill would make it easier to successfully sue news media for defamation, with several provisions that defy landmark Supreme Court rulings on First Amendment rights. After what the Florida governor described as the impact of defamatory reporting by news media companies, and during a roundtable discussion, the Florida governor accused legacy news outlets of increasingly favoring preferred narratives over the truth. And that, and I quote, "We've seen countless examples in recent history of members of the journalism profession playing fast and loose with facts. And I don't believe that journalists have more or special privilege to be protected against the harm that they cause when they act recklessly or negligently," said Representative Alex Andrade. And his bill, HB 991, aims to limit journalism and reporting. So just to be on the safe side, I will keep his name out of my mouth for the time being. I don't want him to come at me, bro, and label me like woke or some nonsense like that. I'm only reading what has been written. That's it. All right, everyone, get ready to prepare as Hurricane Hilary forecast to hit LA on Sunday with tropical storm force wind, rain, and big waves, because it only seems fitting right now that in a rare occurrence, a former hurricane may hit Los Angeles this weekend with tropical storm force winds up to 73 miles per hour and heavy rain. What is now Tropical Storm Hilary off the coast of mainland Mexico is forecast to become a hurricane by 1 p.m. today, and a major Category 3 or Cat 3 or above hurricane by 1 a.m. on Saturday. And by 1 p.m. Sunday, Hilary is expected to hit the Southern California border and potentially Los Angeles. And this at a time when over 50,000 people are set to lose homeowners insurance as 2 more insurers exit California. This, according to the San Francisco Standard, 2 more insurance companies will exit the California homeowners market, further narrowing options for people seeking to insure their home or to purchase a house with a mortgage. AmGuard Insurance, a subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway Guard Insurance Companies, will withdraw its homeowners and personal umbrella programs in California, while Falls Lake Insurance will also end its homeowners program too. These 2 companies are the latest insurers to rush for the exits in California or limit their business in the state during the past year, but unlike heavyweights State Farm and Allstate, which declined to sign new homeowners business in the state, AmGuard and Falls Lake will just flat out drop their existing policyholders for good. In turn, that will force tens of thousands of California homeowners to seek new coverage at a time when the available options are growing fewer. And it is important to note that industry representatives have blamed insurers' recent retreat from California on the high wildfire risks, climate change, high inflation, construction costs that outpace inflation, and a regulatory framework that makes it difficult for companies to get rate increases approved. All of these factors have made it more difficult for insurance companies to turn a profit in the state, is what they say. And a spokesperson for the Department of Insurance told the Standard in an email, AmGuard only began writing in California markets in 2019, experiencing major losses in 2020, 2021, and 2022 that were unusually high and not typical of the market as a whole. And that between 2020 and 2022, the company's losses were often 2 to 3 times the average, is what he added. So, the Berkshire Hathaway Group, AmGuard's parent company, is the largest writer of property and casualty insurance, a category that extends beyond homeowners in terms of written premiums, according to the California Department of Insurance. And among its other insurance companies is Geico. They also shared that the group will continue to operate heavily in California, but just won't be selling homeowners insurance anymore. And this couldn't come at a worse time than ever, since State Farm halted new business. It had previously been one of the last places where homeowners who had been dropped by their insurers could find new coverage. Now, the options are even fewer. And we all know what happens when supply dips and demand increases. It's funny how history tends to repeat itself, almost like it was planned or by design in some way. So, as promised, important information about Social Security and the new updates from the SSA. I do want to thank you all for sticking with me through this video and absorbing all this information, as well as engaging in the comments too. Thanks for hitting that like button, and welcome all new subscribers. I want to tell you about the new application process that the SSA is rolling out and how it affects disability claims. So ladies and gentlemen, attention to all the distinguished members of our community who have celebrated over 6 decades of life. This next bit is most important for you, and I am delighted to bring to your attention a vital program that holds great significance for those among us who may face challenging health conditions. As the Social Security Administration, an institution many have long relied upon, has instituted what is known as the Compassionate Allowance Program, or the CAL. And this initiative has been carefully designed to fast track the process of disability claims, particularly for individuals who find themselves dealing with severe medical conditions that are highly likely to align with the SSA's definition of disability. And considering the gravity of many of these compassionate allowance conditions, it is noteworthy that claims can now be approved based solely on the medical confirmation of diagnosis. So it brings me great pleasure to inform you that the list of these compassionate allowance conditions is subject to regular review and updates, guided by the latest medical knowledge, advancements in diagnosis procedures, and shifts in medical practices. And please note that as of August 14, a recent announcement by the SSA has introduced 12 new compassionate allowances encompassing chromosome disorders, rare tumors, and specific types of cancers. It is a fact worth sharing that the SSA in its press release has revealed a remarkable total of 278 conditions that have received approval under the CAL initiative. And this has facilitated Social Security Disability Insurance, or SSDI, or Supplemental Security Income, SSI, benefits for an impressive count of nearly 900,000 individuals who grapple with severe disabilities. The current acting commissioner's words deserve our attention as she emphasizes the SSA's unswerving commitment to breaking down barriers and ensuring that those eligible for benefits indeed receive them. This commitment is solidified through the Compassionate Allowances Program, which expedites the application process for individuals facing the most challenging of disabilities. So, please allow me the opportunity and to take a moment to highlight the collaborative aspect of this program, as it engages the expertise of medical professionals, esteemed doctors, and diligent researchers who play a crucial role in determining the medical conditions to be included in the compassionate allowances list. And it's important to note that these CAL conditions are developed based on insights garnered from advocacy groups, the Social Security and Disability Determination Services communities, the esteemed National Institute of Health, the NIH, and even past public outreach hearings. And as of this recent update, 12 new conditions have been incorporated into the compassionate allowances list, and I will make it a point to display these additions on the screen before you so you have the opportunity to see them for yourselves. And for those of you seeking more detailed information about this invaluable program, which has the potential to transform lives, I encourage you to explore the SSA's dedicated compassionate allowances page. This page not only presents an extensive list of all the compassionate allowance conditions, but also extends an invitation to suggest names of conditions or diseases that you believe should be considered for inclusion. And if you or someone you know is in need of disability benefits, the agency's disability benefits page awaits your visit. There, you have the option to create a personal My Social Security account, which empowers you to keep a vigilant eye on the progress of your claim. And so, in conclusion, I urge you to stay informed about the strides being made in the realm of disability benefits through programs such as compassionate allowances, because it's through initiatives like these that our society embraces inclusivity and care for its members, particularly those facing considerable health challenges. Your well-being matters, and the Social Security Administration stands as a pillar of support in this journey. I want to thank you all for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this experience. We're well-informed, educated, and received lots and lots of value from this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to reading all of your comments and plan to bring you another update very, very soon. I hope you all have a great and fantastic and amazing day.